was a night where the polls were consistently pointing to a Labor win, and that is the way it turned out. Labor and Anthony Albanese have not only secured a majority government, but increased their number in the House of Representatives. That makes Mr Albanese the first Prime Minister since John Howard in 2004 to serve consecutive terms. The Liberal Party has suffered a crushing defeat, but perhaps nobody is feeling it harder than the opposition leader himself. Peter Dutton has become the first opposition leader to not just lose an election, but his own seat, ending his 24-year parliamentary career. The Liberal Party will now look for a new leader. Christy Lloyd begins our coverage in what has been a major win for the ALP.
Labor Party faithful elated.
Albo always backs what's best about our country.
It was expected to be a close contest, but proved to be anything but.
Anthony Albanese will again be Prime Minister of Australia.
Labor wins. Sky News declares it. Tom Connell has called it, and this is a major moment for Labor and for Anthony Albanese.
A second term for Labor and a second chance for Anthony Albanese, holding back tears as he steps into the next chapter.
And it is with a deep sense of humility and a profound sense of responsibility that the first thing that I do tonight is to say thank you to the people of Australia for the chance to continue to serve the best nation on earth.
After what many have described as a lacklustre campaign, Australians have ultimately decided now is not the time for change.
In this time of global uncertainty, Australians have chosen optimism and determination.
It wouldn't be a victory speech without producing his key prop from the election campaign.
This card is not Labor red or Liberal blue, it is green and gold.
His supporters and party members were never in doubt.
We tell people that Anthony Albanese has been underestimated his whole career. It's true, and it's happened again tonight.
What I see as somebody who works very closely with Anthony is a person who has incredible judgment, incredible experience, but most importantly, fundamental decency.
Peter Dutton failing to create history.
I thank Peter for his generous words at the end of what has been a very hard-fought campaign.
Conceding defeat after an overwhelming swing to Labor.
Tonight's not the night that we wanted for the Liberal Party or for our coalition or indeed for our country. We didn't do well enough during this campaign. That much is obvious tonight, and I accept full responsibility for that. Earlier on, I called the Prime Minister to congratulate him on his success tonight. It's an historic occasion for the Labor Party, and we recognise that.
But the day went from bad to worse for Peter Dutton. Not only did he lose the election, but he lost his seat of Dickson in Queensland to Labor candidate Ailey France, a seat he's held since 2001.
The seat of Dickson has fallen.
I also had the pleasure of speaking with Ailey France, and Ailey and I have been combatants for a number of elections now, but she was successful in Dickson tonight. And she will do a good job as a local member.
In what was described as a dignified speech, Mr Dutton passed the baton with grace.
She lost her son Henry, which is a tragic circumstance that no parent should ever go through. And equally, I said to Ailey that her son Henry would be incredibly proud of her tonight, and she'll do a good job as a local member for Dickson.
Ms France grateful for the outcome, one even she expected to be a lot closer.
I was hopeful, obviously. I think after 7 years of a lot of hard work, a lot of grassroots campaigning and just being in the community as much as I can, I'm happy that, people have seen that I really care about Dickson.
The outcome now leaves the coalition without a leader.
This is a big win for Albo and a huge disappointment for the Liberals, because they've got to ask themselves, where do we go now?
According to Sky News host Andrew Bolt, it's not an easy question to answer.
There is no person that you would naturally say that man is a leader or that woman is a leader. Angus Taylor obviously is in front running, and while he did do very well against Jim Chalmers in their first debate, perhaps a tie in the second, he's going to get a lot of blame for the economic policies, which were a dog's breakfast.
Shadow Minister for Indigenous Australians Jacinta Price concedes the Coalition's campaign wasn't its best.
We absolutely could have gone harder. We could have gone harder also on calling out the Prime Minister and his lies, because apparently all you have to do is lie to the Australian people, and that's an effective enough campaign.
While disappointed, Barnaby Joyce, who comfortably retains his seat of New England, wasn't all that surprised by the result.
We all walk into the cool room at the start and say exactly what's going to happen, and it happens, and then we all come onto the panel and act surprised. The Australian people will always they gave Julia Gillard a second go, they gave Gough Whitlam a second go. That's how the Australian people
you get a haircut.
Anthony Albanese's victory makes him the first Labor Prime Minister since Bob Hawke to serve a full term and be re-elected.
We return to the work of building Australia's future. Thank you all.
Christy Lloyd, Sky News.